back again. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. Good evening, everyone. I hope you can see me. Welcome back. Welcome back to Crazy Talk again. It's a beautiful day, and today we are discussing another beautiful topic, and I hope you will enjoy this. Today we are talking about intuition. If you're in my live stream yesterday, we talked about aura, aura, your magnetic field that guide you as a being. So we made mention of yesterday, we describe it, and you can see the diagram is still on the board, the way we describe it, I illustrate it, with this beautiful cushy diagram that I put there on the board. So today we are talking about intuition. Invite people, invite your friends, because today is another beautiful topic. So while you are inviting your friends, so I'm just going to clean up this board, because today we are talking about something different and something very interesting. So I'm just going to clean my special illustrating board so that we can discuss this beautiful one. Hope you guys can see it like this. I think it's small. You can see it. Invite people. So today we're still going to be using, that kind of special person that I drew yesterday. So I'm going to draw it again, So the head, the neck, and then the hand. I think I actually love this drawing part, even though I'm not so special, but I think it's not bad actually. I used to remember when we drew this kind of special. I don't know if you guys can see it, but let me take the lights closer so that, I hope you guys can see it now. So I think it's better now. So I think it's okay now. You guys can see it very clearly. So now, so I'm just gonna draw, and the hand, just to make it a little bit fancy, because this is special person, okay, the eye, gonna draw it, just make it, oh shit, that nose is not so good. Let me make it a little bit beautiful. So why is beautiful? Please invite people, because today is, I think the nose is a bit shooky, but it's fine. I think we can do something, and then just to make it a little bit beautiful person with beautiful hair, You might say, Quincy, is that you? Anyone how you want to say it is fine. Just to make it a little bit beautiful, because we are talking about being here, human being. So for that reason, oh, thank you. So now, so it's done. And now we are talking about intuition. What is an intuition, and how does intuition work? So just to mind you, I'm just going to put this dot here, or somewhere here. Yeah. The pineal gland. The pineal gland. Yeah, I just put it there because it's somewhere there. And it's also the antenna. So it's very important. the pineal gland is also the antenna. And this pineal gland is also connected straight to your heart. So I just want to make this, and the intuition. Intuition. So now let's dive to the game. Let's begin the discussion. Chrissy, what did you just draw? So basically, what I drew human being, like being like you. I draw me, I draw you, something that represents you and I, to be able to describe or to illustrate this diagram, what we are talking about. So an intuition is that ticky things that always, your mind always tell you, don't do it. And the other one will say, yeah, it's good when you do it. And you felt so good about it that, okay, if I do it, this thing will work. If I follow this like this thing will actually good. If I does this or do that, it will actually work out for me or you. That feeling that you always get. And that feeling comes from this pineal gland straight to your heart. The reason is because this is an antenna. So when we talk about, what antenna is now, it's a signal receiver. So what happened is that, Earth is the lower realm, very low, very low. So, and basically in most cases, we'll talk about it. But first of all, we need to know what is this intuition is and why is it, they will say, follow your heart, follow your mind, follow your heart, let your heart lead you, let your intuition lead you, those talk that they always say, let's lead you so that you will get to blah, 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 to make the right decision. And you also have that feeling whereby you will say, I just have that feeling. My heart is just telling me not to do it. My heart is just telling me not to do that. My heart is just do that. My heart is just do that. That my heart is just doing that is the fact that the signal that you are receiving from your pineal gland is telling to your heart that is not good. And that signal comes from your higher self. We'll talk about that in another time. Your higher self. So basically, there's two versions of you. Let me just say, for example, now, this is your higher self, okay? And this your higher self is kind of superhuman being. Let me put it that way. And this your higher self, I'm just gonna make it look beautiful. So, so this one is basically stronger than this. This one is basically stronger and no more, because this has more knowledge of what goes on. But unfortunately, it cannot appear in this realm, but this one can appear on this realm. So for that reason, in order for this one to have more knowledge to see things or know things or how things work or operate, it has to get information from this one. So when this one got information, it will send it to this antenna here. So from this antenna, this one will receive it. So it's interesting, right? Yeah. So when this one send it, it's like, for example, you want to do a business, and in that business you basically have more confidence in it. But all of a sudden, your antenna, your heart will start to tell you, don't invest in this, is not good, or the outcome of it will not be good, blah, blah, blah. So basically, this one here, your higher self, has gone to investigate that plan and see that the outcome of it is not good. And because the outcome of it is not good, so you will send that information to your antenna. So you have to receive it, and now your intuition start to tell you that that thing is not is not good. That thing is not fine if you do it, blah blah blah. But yeah, someone is trying to convince you, yeah, if you do it like this, it's good. If you do it like that, you know how those scammers always behave. They all want to pressure you, make you feel fear. Do it now, the business is good now. If you don't invest now, blah 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 blah. At the end of the day, nothing works. So when you follow or listen to that intuition, is because this your higher person here that send this information to you, he knows better. He sees better. He sees beyond this realm. He can see your 20, 30 years time. He can see everything around you. He knows everything, and it's like your what did I say? Your personal assistant, is assisting you to tell you, this thing is good, or this thing is not good, or this thing is well, or this thing is not well. We also talk about soul guide and spirit guide in another time, but this one I want to talk about is intuition. So when this information comes down, your antenna is where you receive it, your pineal gland. And in most people, the reason why you don't receive this information is because most people, their pineal gland here, their antenna, just call it the antenna. Everybody knows it's antenna. So the antenna is blocked. It's a very tiny little crystal. It's as tiny as this little thing. And it's a very strong crystal, like real crystal. According to the neuroscience, a real crystal is there in your brain somewhere. I think, somewhere around your brain here, inside. That little crystal is your pineal gland. And that little crystal is where you can get information from your higher self, because it is your antenna to receive information. Crystals have power to absorb energy. So you get energy, like that. So that is the same way that crystal is. And that crystal is not just there for decoration. Like, come on, just think about it. Crystal in your brain. Yeah. That's your pineal gland. It's as tiny as that little thing. But that little thing is actually working. It gets information, and that information is directed back to you. So now, most people, they don't get this information. And the reason is because when the antenna is destroyed, you will get information. It's just like, just take it as your Wi-Fi. When your Wi-Fi is broke down, your Wi-Fi is broken, the internet is not strong, or you cannot do anything about it, there is nothing you will do. Nothing, absolutely. And when you don't get anything from your internet, you can't download, you can't go on social media, see, you see this Wi-Fi that we all have in our home. It's not just ordinary Wi-Fi, like Wi-Fi that we use to do all the stuff we do. The information that passes through that Wi-Fi determines and it shapes your life. How many people have access to that Wi-Fi? It also determines how those information is being shaped in your life. So in the sense that you can't just give your antenna to anybody. So it's like you sharing your private stuff to other person. So when negative people can get hold of it, they can monitor and know what you are doing and see what places and where places, or what things that you do on your own self. And that is why it is very important to always make sure you protect your Wi-Fi at home or in your mobile, wherever, because it is not just Wi-Fi, it is the information that shapes your life. That is where you get all the gettable. That is where you know all the knowable. That is where you know all the information. As you are watching me now, is from there. So if you don't tune in there, you won't get it. So that is just the way it is. So now, when that your intuition is being contaminated, yesterday when we talk about aura and we talk about different part of the chakra, the seventh chakra, which is here. That is where the crown chakra. Why is it crown? That is where the antenna is, because that is the higher level of it. And that higher level connects to your higher self. And this higher self knows well, knows better, knows things a lot. He knows a lot more than you can imagine. Because he knows more than you can imagine, that basically he can control more things. So now where things get so cracking, things get so bad for people is because when you don't get information from this your higher self, like this your antenna is broken, you know, your antenna, some people call it your third eye, is broken, you can't get information, you're blind. That is where you become vulnerable because you can't see. It just like now, let me show you. So now my eyes are closed. So everything that happens on this realm now, I can't see it. So this your eyes is your window to this realm. So basically, when your third eye here is active, your antenna, you can see in the other realm and know what is also going on there. And that is where you get protected, know what to do. Sometimes you want to do some certain things, so you want to move with some certain kind of people. You just have that download coming in, say don't do it or don't do that, and you listen. And of course, if you don't listen, they also has their own repercussion, of course. But you can basically see that this information is not just for decoration, and this information is not just like something to ignore, because this basically shaping every part of your life, all your day-to-day life. So now, when your antenna is being contaminated or is being affected, now you don't get information anymore. It's blank. And because it's blank, what happened is that you cannot receive information from your higher self, because this internet to connect to your higher self, your spiritual super assistance, is not there. And because that is not there, this one cannot communicate with you. And that is why we have problem. That is where the problem actually is. Because when you are in a lower realm, whereby this connection between your higher self and you is basically broken, just like I described with the Wi-Fi, you can't get information from them. You can't get anything. So you just be moving like a wind. They blow you here, you sit. They say sit here, you sit. They say go in here, you sit. And you just be roaming around like, with no direction. Because why? That antenna is broken. But let me show you, there is another way. No matter how your intuition is being broken, or your third eye, your pineal gland is being shut down, you can always activate it. It's easy. It just take a bit of practice continuously. And the most best way, like I think that is more important for you to activate your pineal glands, is through meditation. It's not just meditation like you just close your eye and whereby your mind and your soul, they are somewhere flying and thinking about what you're going to eat and that. No, it is a moment you focus, like you really focus. Like, let me show you a bit of cool meditation. Okay. I'm just going to show you like a cool meditation. You can do it anywhere. You can practice it anywhere. It doesn't have to be special. It doesn't have to be something, kind of, but it's just a time whereby you don't think about anything. You don't think about nothing. You are just present. And that is that time that your body, you are connecting within you. At this time, you are connecting within you. All your nervous system is being activating at that time. So when you continue to practice and you continue to practice over and over, as times goes on, you will begin to see that your intuition, it will increase. At this time, your intuition will burst out. So it's just like you sit like this and take a deep breath. The most best part is that when you sit and do this meditation, is that you take this energy and you put it in your head. Like, so you see, when you take that energy, when you take that hair and you take it in and you put it down to where your pineal gland is, it stays there. And after some time, you know, you breathe it out. So when you continue to exercise it like that over and over, as time goes on, you will begin to see the changes. The changes will begin to come like very clearly and slowly. Your intuition level will begin to be very clear. Not just clear, I mean very, very, very clear. And when it's clear, that is when you start to have your communication with your higher self. You see, when this pineal gland is activated again, that is when you start to get information back from your higher self. And this your higher self will begin to communicate to you. When I used to have this feeling in those days, when someone is negative or have negative intent, and when it's closer and it's having that negative intent towards me, I would just have this kind of vibration within me. My heart, my and at a point it was kind of scary, like what is that? But then I now understand that is a way of my intuition communicating with me. Sometimes people have different ways their intuition communicates with them. And some your body, whatever part of you that your intuition is able to communicate with you, it is very important that you also pay attention, because it is not just an information that coming in, but it is also an information that are necessary for you to pay attention. It is not for entertainment. So when your intuition is telling you don't do it, don't do it, is because it sees more than what you don't see. And because it sees what you don't see, so it will always be there to guide you. So another thing that is also very important is that when you are working on yourself in this level of knowledge, in this level of intuition and antenna, it is very important that you also abstain from negativity. When I mean negativity, I mean all kinds of negativity. Yesterday, if you were in our discussion when we're talking about, this, when we talk about your first chakra, and your first chakra is through your intimacy, that's the first. It is an opening. Your intimacy is not just for fun, it's also a gateway to enter into you. So this body, this is an avatar. It's just like your car. Where this body is just like your car. Okay? And you are the driver. And the driver is reciting on your heart, in the soul, your heart here. That is where you are actually staying. The person that is communicating now, that is where he's staying. Is the driver seat in the heart. So now, when you open yourself up, allow negativity through intimacy, through food, or through whatever, you allow it. So what it does that negativity contaminates that heart. And when it does contaminate it, that is where you don't listen to your intuition anymore. So basically, your heart, your brain is telling you, you know that saying they said, when you are in love, follows your heart and take your brain with you. The reason why it's being said like that is that your heart can be easily contaminated, but your brain has ability to communicate with the higher self, and for that purpose it can get more knowledge, more wisdom, and because it gets more wisdom, so they will tell you, take your brain with you. So whatever thing you are doing follows your heart, but take your brain with you. That is the purpose. So, and when you are that person that wants to, have this kind of intuition that is working, you have to abstain from this. Not every intimacy you open your to freely. When I mean freely, you just met somebody, oh, that person is so cheap. It's not cheap. It's taking your sermons away. That person is not cheap. Oh, you just met, oh, that girl is cheap. That boy is so cheap. He is not cheap. I'm still saying it. Don't be. It is not cheap. It is your soul that they are after to contaminate it. And when they sow the negative energy into your heart, everything goes down. That is when negativity, everything around you start to fall down, and you just start to have all kinds of problem. Have you ever met with somebody that after you met them, you start to have difficulties in your life? I mean difficulties, sickness of no reason, problem of no reason, financial problem, job problem, all kinds of things, because they have contaminated your chakras and they have a negative energy is able to penetrate. But don't be scared. The reason why I said don't be scared is because when that happens, you need to continue your meditation. It is very important because your meditation enables you as a being, your soul being, to awaken self up, to sit up, to realize that something is not going well. And because something is not going well, it will be able to communicate with the antenna. And when the antenna is out, and the antenna can be able to reach out to the higher self, and your higher self will be able to bring more information, guideline to tell you, this, do it like this do it like this, do it like this. What I would say, listen to yourself, think within yourself, sit down to reason this, sit down to try to understand what this thing is saying, sit down to try to get this information. The reason is because and the process of you sitting down to try to reason this information, that is where you can get the whole picture. It can gives you the blueprint of everything. I used to, this is my own personal stuff. When I used to go and take a walk, just at that time, what I do is when I reflect on my stuff. I reflect on things around me. I reflect on everything that is just surrounding me, and I begin to analyze it. And the process of me analyzing it and, communicating between my higher self at that time, this is what happened, is that you begin to see things in a clear picture, and you begin to see it how the person said it, how the thing was manipulated. When we talk about manipulation, people still don't understand what is manipulation. Manipulation is an art or way that people make things. They make things to dance around you while putting you in the corner of it. That is manipulation. So people can always use you, in a different way. English people said reverse psychology. It happens every now and then. But when it's only when you can reflect back on the conversation you had with somebody and you just break it down over and over and over, you will begin to see that something is not right. And when you pay attention, your higher self will be able to tell you that, no, this thing is not right. Don't listen to it. I don't think that thing that is saying is correct. Maybe it's just trying to do this or trying to play or trying to do that. At that time, you will not pay attention. So it is very vital and very important that you pay attention to yourself. Have some minutes whereby you reflect on yourself. Have some minutes whereby you don't think about anybody. It's just like, take it like this, that you are the only person in that world. You are the only person that exists. You are the only person at that given time. You just sit down and sit still and just try it over and over and over and over and over. Just practice it. And when you do, you will begin to see things, changes around you. And not just change it, you will begin to see a lot of little things that you were overlooking. You see, these eyes can only see minimal of things. I mean, minimal. So everything that is around us, this window send it to our brain process it. So now, when this window is tired, it can't get more information. Have you ever seen that people walk by something and the thing is that they didn't see it? It's not that the thing is it's not like the thing is not there. You understand? Or they are blind. Is because at that time their brain cannot even process it. And that is why it is very, very important, get a good sleep, take a good rest, have some time for yourself. When we talk about this love yourself and love yourself, people is like, what is this love yourself? Love yourself. No. The reason is at that time that you are focusing on yourself. This person, this is an avatar. The main person is inside. This is like a vehicle. The driver is inside. So for you to get to the driver inside the vehicle, what did you do? You open the door and get into the driver. So the driver is in the driver's seat, in the driver. So for that driver to be able to know where to go, the driver have to pay attention. So now you, as the one driving this avatar, you need to pay attention to yourself. It is very vital, and that is how you can get this intuition running well. So we have come to the end of this week. I said that it's 3 days I will be coming to be teaching some interesting topic, and today is the last day. I've done Tuesday, I've done Wednesday yesterday, and today is Thursday. It's not, it's a lot of work, for you to come out and come and be talking this kind of stuff, but I'm glad I'm doing it anyway. So next week, so it's gonna be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So I just want to put it all together so it will be more better. So I don't want to split it anymore, like day off, day in. So put it like this. So next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, save your phone, charge your phone, because we have another beautiful topic that we will also be coming to discuss. We're going to be discussing a lot about spirituality, a lot about, maybe we'll put waking up into it. The reason why waking is important. We'll also talk about it. These things are important for your well-being as a soul. This information are very, very vital. And for some people, they struggle a lot, especially if you are just the person trying to understand yourself. You're trying to understand things around you, but nobody is explaining it to you. Nobody's telling you. And unfortunately, we don't have places that we can go and just have this discussion freely. And kindly, that social internet and social platform has given this Was just so go and rewatch it from the beginning. Once the live stream is finished, you can rewatch it again. So basically, here we can discuss it. So if you have question that you want to ask, you can ask it on my TikTok, you can ask it on my Facebook. It's all Quincy Talk, and you can ask it on my YouTube. Just leave it on a comment or leave it on the if you want to ask some special question and you want me to really answer you, if you go on my Facebook and subscribe, yeah. When you subscribe, then I can be able to answer those special questions. Question that has to do with your spirituality, that has to do with your mental health, that has to do with so many, many things. You know what I'm talking about. So if you want me to answer it, subscribe and write it, and I will find and I will see it, and I can, spend my time to analyze it and put it down for you. So we have come to the end of this teaching, and I hope you all were able to understand and get some information, get some knowledge out of it. And the next week we'll see you again. And people that is joining from this Quincy Talk 2. So next week I will be using the other Quincy Talk 1. I have two TikTok, Quincy Talk 1, Quincy Talk 2. So I will be using Quincy Talk 1 next week. So come and join and come and have a good knowledge. So thank you all so much for stopping. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for commenting on my Facebook. Amazing, amazing follower and supporter. Thank you all so much. YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. Thank you so much. See ya. Bye. See you people next week. Next week. Bye.